In over a decade of playing classic WoW, I've gotten pretty familiar with the landscape of Azeroth, its beauty, its quirks, and plenty of its hidden secrets. Today, I want to share one of these oddities with you, an obvious error on the map that most players probably pass by without a second thought. I also want to present some ways as to how it could be fixed in the future, or maybe how it shouldn't be. Thank you all for your comments and support of the channel, and with all that being said, let's get right into it. If I was to show you a map of the grey land of Desolace, you might not think it looks like much, but somewhere on here is an inconsistency in how the map icons appear versus what we see in game. Of course, most of the icons on WoW maps are generalizations of what is found across the environment. For example, an entire town might be represented by one or two houses rather than showing every single building. In the issue I'm talking about today though, there is an icon on this map that indicates something at least should be there, but in-game, there's nothing there at all. Done guessing? I'm talking about this icon, right here. On the eastern side of Desolace, near the main road, there's an icon that seems to indicate some sort of ruin or archway should be visible. However, checking out the spot in-game reveals nothing more than a small rocky outcrop. The mound actually lines up perfectly with where the arch would be, which makes this mystery all the more curious. The most obvious question here is why this icon was put on the map. Maybe it was an accidental stroke of the Illustrator brush tool, or perhaps there was another fragment of highborn ruins, like those seen elsewhere in the zone, that was later scrapped in development. Either way, for the past 20 years the map has been telling players there's something here that isn't, or is no longer, there. If Blizzard ever knew about this error, or cared enough to fix it for that matter, there are a couple things they could do. First, they could take the most straightforward approach and paint over the arch on the map. But let's face it, that would follow the typical Blizzard no fun allowed policy that nobody would like and would erase the decades of history, or perhaps non-history, behind these couple dozen pixels. With Season of Discovery on the table, I think we can come up with some better ideas. Right now, the number one way of finding new secrets in the game is through runes and their associated quests. Perhaps a forgotten archway, barely given a second thought as travelers go by, would be a perfect spot for rune seekers to stop at and investigate. Or maybe, hear me out, the arch is not entirely physical, but a portal of some kind that can only be seen by the wise. With your in-game map as the only clue, maybe it falls to you to visit this location with a form of spectral sight and unlock the magic of this landmark. Those dealing with the arcane often speak of invisible ley lines that run underneath Azeroth, carrying vast amounts of energy that can be harnessed. Maybe our portal is atop one of these ley lines, which could explain its somewhat random placement on the map of Desolace. We know very little about the ley lines on Kalimdor, which could provide a great jumping off point for a mage or warlock rune involving this spot. And hey, there's even a fan-made leyline map I found that literally just so happens to have a node in the perfect spot. So there's that too. What do you all think of my ideas? Have any of you noticed this missing arch in the wastes of Desolace? It's unlikely we'll see any changes to this little piece of Warcraft history soon, but when it comes to Season of Discovery, anything is possible. And I've already been really close with some of my predictions in the past, so we'll see what happens. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, may the Force be with you.